Huh? Fellas. No. No. You gotta get these hands too. You gotta get these hands too. There's this term, man. There's this term that says you don't miss your water until your well runs dry. Y'all know what happened? There are inconsistencies in our thought process as well. Yep. There are inconsistencies in our thought process as well. And we need to own those things. You don't miss your water until the well runs dry. Y'all know what that means? We waited till the wife was an endangered species. The traditional wife was an endangered species to actually want and covet a wife. I've known many of brothers who have had a good woman in their lives and let that shit squirt right out of their hands. Fucking with the willing. The willing but not able. Okay? We started to covet what a wife was way too late. Alright? So now we look into these women who have no faith in us, zero faith in us whatsoever. Because now we have all the avenues available to us, even more so than in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever the case may be, in order for us to fuck up. You get a wife, you can't stop looking at Instagram, or whatever the case may be. You get a wife, you can't stop going to the club, you can't stop living the single life, or whatever the case may be. Alright? It's just a fact. It's just a natural fact. Factoid. My favorite word. That's what we do. Alright? I'm not one to sit back and point the finger at one side. I know a lot of us actually admit who we are in the equation, even if we're not specifically like that, or whatever the case may be. We've seen the problems, we look at the problems, we see the things. Even if we're not that dude, we still acknowledge that there are a lot of dudes who do that, and that is commendable. That is called accountability. We tend to do that. Alright? Now, we do. Before, we didn't talk. Alright? And I've said this before, I see why we didn't talk, because now that we're talking, no one still wants to listen. They just want us to talk to acknowledge that they're saying something, not to listen and hear and understand us. But the other thing is this mindset that these women have. We are just as big of contributors to that mindset of them being so much about money and not even caring about a person, about the man's character and how he treats her or how he's going to treat her, or whatever the case may be. We're just as big of contributors to that mindset as they are. Like, they didn't get there by themselves. That's a fact that we have to face. And that's a fact that we have to fix. That's a fact that we have to improve on at the end of the day. The fact of the matter is, I just saw a video from Superhead, Corinne Stephens. And I saw her talking about slut shaming. And she said where the problem starts is in the man's penis and in his pocketbook. So the problem didn't start with the woman being a slut in the first place. Like, if you weren't a slut, there wouldn't be nothing to shame. But that's the mindset that we put in them by when we pay them to do shit, or whatever the case may be. And then that mindset grows in them because they've done it so much, and whatever the case, whatever it is, that's us. That's with her. It's the Shaqs, the Jay-Z's, all of these dudes of the world who were tricking off with her, who put that mindset in her. And then she did everything she could to destroy them. Did everything she could to destroy them, destroy their families if they had them, whatever the case may be, destroy their marriages, their relationships, whatever it was that was out there, she tried to destroy them for her own personal gain. That's our own stupidity, because a lot of us are out here doing that on an even smaller level. Sometimes you just have to know when to move and how to move. As I stated earlier, you can't keep moving like you're single when you're in a relationship, bro. Especially when you got a good woman who is about your happiness, who loves you and means the world. You can't keep taking that shit for granted, y'all. And you can't keep trading that shit in for the willing but not able. Because what I mean is, they're willing to take care of your needs in that moment, but they're not able, that if something should happen with that relationship that you're in, they're not able to step in and pick up the pieces. In other words, if you have a woman that's standing here and she's taking care of 85% of your needs, what's up with the 15? And I understand, man. I understand for what a lot of these women are asking us to do, and what a lot of these women are asking us to do. You really shouldn't hear the word no, or whatever the case may be. However, at the same time, we have to realize that the world has changed, all right? We have to realize that really our world is built for two people. The way the world is built and set up now, it is built for two people to have to contribute on the outside of the house to bring money back into the inside of the house. And that's really the only way, or one person is going to be gone 20 hours out of the day, and that's going to lead to idle minds, idle time. Someone is going to cheat because of the avenues that are available to us, because one of the parties is never at home. All right? And that's just the way that it is. We have to learn how to adapt to that shit. Okay? Now, how do we adapt to that? We adapt to that by make them earn you. All right? Stop just allowing people to come in. You see them and you think she's pretty or whatever the case may be, she's bad or whatever the case may be, and you decide that, hell yeah, I'm going to go all the way in on this shit, and then you realize that her personality ain't shit. Make them earn you. Take the time to actually get to know these ladies, man. Take the time to actually get to know these ladies, because your effort and your time and your money and all the shit that you invest into these next few months or these next few years or these next 10, 20 years or 18 years or whatever the case may be, you're worth it, bro. At the end of the day, it's worth it for you to take the time to get to know this person and let her exhibit the fact that she is a wife. Probably I'm going to move this to number one. Make sure you're dealing with a wife. Alright? Expect that shit. And don't sit back and argue with her early on. If you have to argue with her about what a wife is, if you have to argue with her about what a wife is supposed to be and what femininity is supposed to be early on, and tell her what femininity is supposed to be, whatever you're arguing about, once she has you, those things will resurface. You understand that? What I mean by that is, the moment she gets pregnant, or the moment she gets that ring on her finger, and y'all say I do in front of God, all of that shit that you had to try to teach her and tell her early on about just being a woman, just being soft, being nurturing, and all of those things, all of that shit will go back out the door. And that same person that you met will resurface. All of this, you gotta earn my femininity. Listen, that's the holdup. That is the holdup. I figured that shit out. That is the holdup. You are looking at someone and dealing with people who have the same mentality as you, and that's why you can't submit to that lifestyle because we don't care nothing about getting married. We know this. The right woman makes us want to get married for her. We know this. We are perfectly cool dating, being girlfriend and boyfriend forever. But they want to get married. And someone with masculine energy all the fucking time, who don't know how to turn off that boss mentality when they get home and be the wife, why are you wasting your time with that? It just leads to child support, headaches, arguments, fussing, fighting, alimony, all of the above. Listen, man, I hate to do this, but what is the one constant to the fact that black men die from nothing more often than hypertension and high blood pressure? Hypertension and high blood pressure and heart attack are the highest cause for a black man's death in the world. Black man, African man, whatever. So get you somebody that calms and knows how to see. I hate doing this, but when I said that masculinity and femininity are the puzzle pieces that complete each other, what I mean by that is emotion. Women are emotional. Men are logical. Women are emotional, but can she optimize her emotion by being able to control it? Because then she can calm you down. You understand what I'm saying? Can she reach and tap into her femininity to nurture you when you're having a bad day, to rub your head, to make you feel calm? Can she listen to you when you're having a bad day? So is she woman enough to allow you to have a few moments to yourself to transition from work life to home life? Is she woman enough to trust you, to lead, to look at you and say, I believe in you, take us there? If those are things that you require, bro, you deserve to have that. But you have to start only accepting that in your life. And the last but not least, if she's not good enough, stop wasting your fucking time. Walk away. If that shit is not there, if she's not worried about your happiness, if she's not worried about you, if she's not worried about she's not concerned about your health, your mind, your mindset, if she's not worried about prospering with you, if she doesn't motivate you to want to be better, if she's if you're not looking at her and seeing her and wanting better for her, so projecting you to be better yourself in order for her to be in a better place, she's not it. Stop wasting your time. Stop getting that chick pregnant. That's not it. Stop fucking entertaining the idea of marrying this person. It's time for us to get our minds right. I can talk about the female inconsistencies, and I have, in their thought process, and I have. I couldn't let us get by. Had to do it. Show off.